Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And almost immediately that I launched the last video about the crisis in education, this news report comes in. It is literally 1 minute old. It came up. I was just about to go and do the next video, and this came up as a news flash, and it is appalling, and it relates and fires back in directly to the very previous video about the falling education standards in Scotland, and basically. An F for failure is what the headlines you're going to see in a second. The F for failure. See me, stand at the board like Bart Simpson. I must not fail the Scottish education system. Write that out 1,000 times. Jenny Gilruth needs to hang her head in shame. She needs to resign with immediate effect. As already failing pass rates, and already failing education system in Scotland doesn't need any further proof, and yet further proof is here. You're about to see this, but exam pass rates fall. Nowhere else in Britain are they having falling exam pass rates. The attainment gap is widening. Children are learning less. It is an absolute mess, the education system. How can you have falling rates? England always get ever raising rates. Northern Ireland ever raising rates. Wales ever raising rates. Scotland, who once had the best education system, failing badly. I'm not going to go too long in this one, but we are going to look at it because it is absolutely monstrous that this is going on. So I'm sorry about doing the two videos like back to back, but I felt that this one just deserved it because it is breaking news. And it is the final clinching proof that this SNP government is now failing to such an extent that it is utterly, and we have proof now, it is utterly destroying the future for children. Here goes. So another SNP F for failure as exam pass rates fall and school attainment gap widens. If anything says that the SNP's time is up, this is it. To harm people who've lived their lives is bad enough. To harm the young whose lives are yet starting, removing from them the education they need to succeed in life, to make anything of themselves, is an attainment of failure. It is an absolute shower of absolute shite, really. I can't think of a word better suited to describe what is happening. 140,000 Scottish school pupils received their exam results today. The number receiving a traditional pass at Higher and National 5 has fallen, with officials admitting that marks had been more generous during the pandemic. So they're going to try and spin it like that. But even so, it's a failure. The SNP executive have presided over another drop in educational standards in Scotland after it was revealed that the pass rates have plummeted as thousands of students receive their exam grades, and the attainment gap, which Nicola Sturgeon promised to get rid of and failed, has widened for the second year in a row. Fewer pupils across Scotland received Higher and National 5 pass grades following the exams earlier this year. SQA officials claimed that this was due to a generous approach being applied to the awards in 2022, due to it being the first traditional diet since the COVID pandemic. Well, you can make excuses, but that's all they are. The real reason is that no one is investing in schools. No one is pumping the money into one of the places where it most desperately needs to go. Meanwhile, you can spend millions upon millions on shite like private investigators, like spin doctors, like independence papers, but you can't educate the children that who you owe the very future to. The overall results were similar to the 2019 rate, which was the final exam diet before the pandemic. Figures released by the SQA showed that the percentage of A to C grades at higher level was 77.1%, a big drop from the 78.9% last year. That's a 10% drop, for heaven's sake. For advanced hires, the percentage of A to C grades was 79.8%, a drop from 81.3%. and this was similar to the 2019 79.4. For National 5s, the pass rate was 78.8 compared to 80.8. So again, you're getting large drops across the board. This year's results do remain up on 2019, which was the last year that saw the conventional exams diet, but much lower than the previous 3 years. The attainment gap widened to 60. That actually shows you that children learn more when they're not in school, doesn't it? When they're working at home with the parents helping them, not being handicapped by Marxist teachers, perhaps. Who knows? Anyway, the attainment gap widened to 16 percentage points at higher level compared to 14.9 last year. So the attainment gap is growing. This is a sign of failure, and it's an increasing fail. It's worse than last year. So they're not only going backwards, they're accelerating backwards. It's getting worse at a faster rate. And it isn't going to improve next year with, well, you've just said, £155 million minimum taken out of the education budget. How is this going to help? It quite clearly isn't. I can only see that it is a deliberate policy by the SNP. There is no other excuse. The former First Minister, this is Sturgeon, previously said it was a defining mission of her government to halt the gulf in performance between rich and poor pupils. And yet she hasn't. But this has been failed again for yet another year. All the time. Moron and Education Secretary Jenny Gilruth said, there is much to celebrate in what is another strong set of results, showing a clear and continuing recovery from the pandemic. What set of results is she looking at? Because it isn't these. These show it's getting worse, not better. But she can't. She has to lie. She absolutely... You're looking at the figures she's quoting you, and she's looking you in the face and lying through her teeth. They are not increasing. They are not better. They are not recovering. They're getting worse, Jenny. Stop fucking lying. Now, while we know that the pandemic has disproportionately impacted young people from more disadvantaged backgrounds, she said, these results show that the attainment levels between the least and most deprived area remains narrower than it was in 2019. Oh, well, pick a random damn year. Is it worse than last year? Yes. Is it worse than the year before? Yes. Is it therefore a downward climb for the last 3 years? Yes. Let's not look at some point in the way distant past. Look at 20, 21, 22, 23. Worse. Downhill all the way. Stop lying, stop spinning, get on and do your damn job. And if you're not capable, then quit and get another bloody chimpanzee in there to do it, because the chimp could sit and bash buttons on a typewriter and still make more sense than that woman. Anyway, Fiona Robinson, SQA Chief Executive and Scotland's Chief Examining Officer, sent her warmest congratulations on the very few that managed to complete the exams and who are receiving their certificates today. They should be proud of their achievements. They should be, when you consider how hard it must be to learn anything in the Scottish education system. She added, this year does not mark a return to normal for learners and educators. No, it's far worse than normal. But it marks another significant and positive step. How can it be positive if it's getting worse? What is positive about decreasing pass rates? These people live in a world of spin and bullshit. And while they do, they're destroying children's lives. They need to go. They need to go now. I'm getting angry. I'm going to stop and I'm going to come up because I can feel the anger burning in me. I'm coming up. The truth is an anathema to the SNP. The one thing they cannot ever reveal is the truth. I say it many times because it's true. And here is a prime example. The truth is things are getting worse. You can compare the numbers from this year to the previous year to the previous year to the previous year. It's a downward trend every year. It's going down. It's getting worse. And yet they stand there. You're holding these results and they're lying to tell you that things are getting better. Why do they feel the need to constantly lie? And when they're picked up and told about their lies, they lie their way out of that. But it doesn't wash because we know that everything they do is a lie. They cannot carry on destroying everything. Just simply so that they try and look good. We know they're ignorant, stupid buffoons. Every single one of them. Morons. Morons. Every time. And then liars as well. Time for them to go. We need to vote them out. They need to be gone. And they need to be gone pretty damn quickly. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. And I do apologise that you've had the two educations right, one on the back of the other. But as you see, it's literally 1 minute old when I did it. I finished one and it was bang. It was straight up. And I'm using one to really sort of act as the base for the other, because you can see what is happening. And as I say, I actually think it's deliberate policy. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you're seeing here on the channel, do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, when I calm down a little bit, stay safe, stay well, and remember, if you vote them out, they can stop screwing people's lives up. Bye.